Hey everybody, Grant here again. I wanted to take a couple of minutes in this particular money video to talk to you about the concept of saving money and how it can actually be losing you money. Now, as we kind of go through this, I do want to say that I'm all for having a safety net, and there should be some money that you have in savings to cover things that may come up so you're not having to factor in credit and whatnot, because there are two types of people when it comes to money: people who make interest and people who pay interest, and you definitely don't want to be in the second group, and savings can definitely play a part into that. However, I have known a couple of people that they focus solely on saving money. That's their idea for retirement, or how they're going to get to where they need to be, is they take a little bit of money aside from each paycheck and they save it. It's all this discipline and whatnot, and we've been ingrained to think that that's the right way to go about it. But the truth is, if you are just saving your money, you're actually losing money. You're not really saving it. What do I mean by that? Well, inflation right now averages about 3.22% a year, which means if you'd had $100,000 in 1989, 30 years ago, you would think, well, if I didn't spend any of that, I'd have $100,000 today. While technically that's true, in order to be able to do the same type of thing because of inflation, you would need over $250,000. So because $100,000 isn't the same today as it was 30 years ago. Now, a lot of people might be saying, okay, well, that's over 10 years, that's 32.2%. No, not really, because of the compounding. Again, 30 years, you might think, well, that's 90% difference. No, again, it's over 2.5 times. So if you're just trying to save your money constantly, then what you're going to be doing is losing at least 3.22% on average per year based upon the current averages. So you do need to have some sort of savings, money set aside to cover those needed expenses. And I'm absolutely an advocate for that. Even if you've got some debt that you're paying some interest on, make sure you've got a little bit of money set aside for savings. However, if you got this mindset that you need to save all the time, then you're actually putting yourself in a deficit. You're not capitalizing on the best opportunities available to you. You need to be taking whatever money you've got that you're able to set aside, and a small percentage of it goes towards savings until you're at a particular dollar amount. And that dollar amount varies. I'd say at least $1,000 ideally. For some people it's a little more, some people it's a little less, but you also need to be allocating money towards things that will make you more money. Maybe that's investing it directly into stocks or mutual funds or index funds. As for those of you who know me, know that's pretty much where I believe investing when it comes to the market goes, or being able to do things like options trading, which is what I do. There's also, are you investing in books or programs that will turn around and allow you to make more money? About a year ago, I spent $120 on things to make me more money in one particular industry, and a year later, has it netted me a ton of money? No, but about $750. So instead of that $100, if I had just saved it, then I'd have lost about 3.22%, which means it'd be worth about $96.78 once you factor in inflation. Instead, it's now worth $750 because of the way that I chose to spend that money. So the whole purpose of this is to make you understand savings are important, because again, if you have to borrow money because you can't pay an unexpected expense or something totally surprises you, and you end up paying interest on that, and we touch on interest in some other videos, but we're going to be coming back to it because it's such a powerful thing, then yeah, you have the opportunity to lose a lot of money. So that safety net is a good thing to a point. But if you're not spending money on things that specifically make you more money, you are losing money. Some people may be going, well, I got a raise, fantastic, and they're all excited about it, but is that raise factored in with your cost of living expense? If you make $25,000 a year, 3% of that would be about $750 a year, or about 37.5 cents an hour. If you make, which would be about $12.50 an hour. So looking at it from that perspective, if you're like, well, I got a 25-cent an hour raise, but if that, which equates to $500 a year, if that's 3% or less than what your total is, then you're actually losing money. So you need to be making 3.22% on average per year just to break even. So that being said, look at the past couple of years. How much has your income increased or changed over the last couple of years? And has it been able to keep up with inflation? I was working with a client recently, and he's like, well, for the last 5 years, we've been able to remain steady and consistent with sales. And they were very, very consistent with their sales. But when we looked at it, he was actually losing money because he wasn't factoring in for interest. He wasn't growing. So I want you to be thinking about that and saying, okay, If you do have money in savings, that's great. I'm glad that you do. But if it's more than enough to cover some immediate expenses, you need to be taking some of that money and putting it somewhere that will gain you interest. I mean, even if it's 1% a year, you're still losing about 2.22%, but it's better than losing 3.22%. If you are not currently investing any money in things that make you more money, and it can be, like I said, anything from stocks or bonds or anything like that. Again, books, by the way, can make you more money if it teaches you a skill. Courses, programs, softwares, things like that, then you're losing out and you're never going to set yourself up for success. If you have money in savings right now and you're continually putting a little bit towards that each month, that is fantastic that you're doing that and you've built that discipline. However, you need to start allocating some of that money to things that make you more money. It's the concept, the mindset of the wealthy. So that was just my quick little, 5-6 minute rant, if you will, on the concept of if you're saving too much, you're actually losing money. Now, there are some products that I'm currently reviewing. There's actually one on the concept of blogging to make money. And this is actually a product that would provide you some tools to help you monetize blogging. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how people make money with blogging, some of the different ways they go about that. But keep an eye out for that. If you are interested in some products or services that can make you money, or business opportunities that, again, kind of create a small side hustle with minimal work on your part, make sure you click subscribe, click the little bell so you get notifications, because I'm going to be reviewing some products periodically that have the opportunity to generate passive income. But in any event, I hope that you've taken something to heart and you've given a little bit of thought to the amount of money you're saving versus the amount of money you're losing. Hope to see you guys next time, and make sure that you're paying attention to your financial success.